willing to pay for his artwork $120 minimum. So he calculated all he has to do is make 100 artworks, and he can make 100 grand, and then he can go home and relax. And we were just sitting shocked and proud and happy for him. And the thing was, he pointed out everything he was doing was digital. Oh, digital. Mm-hmm. And he was about to get his own residency and everything.
Those residencies are very attractive, though.
So he's pointing out about all that stuff. We were pretty excited about it. Yeah.
I was like researching the ones that are in Europe. They have, oh my goodness, they have some really attractive residencies
What
for artists.
what do they entail?
Sorry?
What options do they have for residency? What did they tell us a little bit of?
My goodness, it's I will have to go back in my because I saved a few of them. It's like accommodation projects. Aside from the work that you're gonna do, they allow you to explore the country that the residency is in. They also connect you to selling your work as well. It was just, well, the ad was very convincing, I should say. And you know how those ads are. Those ads are slick. Those ads are, ooh. It makes you feel as if you're there. But I'll find them. I'll find them and show you what it looks like. And it's like I didn't know that you could do that. Like, you know, like back in the day, you were an apprentice.
Yeah.
I didn't know they still had those.
So you had like an apprentice, and then from there, your apprentice can get a residency. But it's like a package, right? That's what the residency
Yes,
is?
yes. It's like so many things in one. It's not just learning the skill, you know.
Interesting. Very interesting. Mm-hmm. So
But
you,
sorry.
what I was saying was like, but you basically have a fixed a collect people are going to collect from you for sure when you draw, and you can just focus on the actual drawing and less about the marketing and all these other nonsense. I think that's what the residency is about.
Yeah,
It's nice, I think.
it's like it's like you're able to focus on your skill without too many distractions.
And the people, they love your work so much that they're going to buy from you anyway, or they know that they can sell your work. At least I don't know. I don't know if they buy to keep or to keep buy to sell. I'm not really sure.
I mean, it's amazing when you're self-taught, but like when you incorporate somebody else's skill, it adds a new dimension to your work.
That makes sense as well. It does make sense. It is. Yeah. I think it's cool if we can create our residencies from our home countries. That'd be amazing. It's based in the States, but if he could make that residency from his home country, that would be something else.
You
That's
mean you mean if there were residencies in your country?
no. What happens is he has a residency in the U.S. in Seattle.
Oh, oh,
So
that specific friend. Yeah.
so what he wanted to do, it'd be awesome if he could use his if he could continue doing what he does within the U.S. and then continue drawing from back home and just ship. I'm not sure how if that's how it works though. So I'm not sure about. That'd be cool. I think the ability to complete a entire residency from back in the what's it called back from back home. So, so you can be with the family with a much affordable living and still make your art, and your art will become your sole income, and you won't really need to worry about anything. Within a couple of years, you can even retire. To be honest, with that kind of money, why would you retire? Because that's you. It's you have fun doing it. To be honest.
Makes sense. It's like when you do the calculations, you are making more money within, let's say, a 5 year period than, let's say, your entire adult life if you were to do it the normal way.
Yeah. But the only thing I'd
Like,
say is, why would you retire? Because you have fun doing it. So it's like you do something you probably normally want to do anyway.
oh yeah, when I was heavily involved, that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah, you're doing something that you enjoy doing, even when it's not when you're what's called not working. You'll be still working on it. And then also it won't even feel like work as well. It won't feel like work either. So there's a lot of things to that. The best thing I found with the digital is the colors. I love how I can play with colors. So
You
now,
could create the tones that you want.
yeah, no, like let's say now today I don't like red. I could do this whole character tomorrow with a different actual color itself.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, if it's traditional, you you have to painstakingly shift every color, whereas with digital, you can change the color without compromising the entire
Yeah,
painting. Sorry, drawing.
yeah, definitely. And also, there's some people who paint digitally that looks, but it's digital but looks like physical. I don't know if
Yes.
you seen that.
Yes.
Talking to me, it's made it look like physical is about to die. But the funny thing, a lot of people still will not really pay for digital; they pay for physical.
It's kind of weird because so much work goes. It's like either way, a lot of like hours go into it. Obviously, the more proficient you are, the shorter time you'll take.
Yeah,
But I don't know why it doesn't command the same.
it's very weird for someone who does physical. Just to watch me doing this thing, you're looking at it very weird.
Because like with Canva, I have to like when I first started, it was very basic. And then Canva kept adding features and tools, right? Which made my work even much more easier. But the complexity, oh my gosh. Cause I'm not just gonna do something basic for a customer. I'm gonna do something great. And I see everything that I create as like a work of art too.
You have a connection to everything you made, yeah. You know what? Let me tell you something funny about animation. I draw background characters. I'm drawing someone in the background. Oh, this guy is just going to be a background character. It's not a big deal. Just going to put background and make the details. Later on, when I continue drawing the animation, I like the background characters more than the real character. Like, what am I going to do? That's something that happens sometimes.
Yes, or how about when you finish with a piece and it looks so good you don't want to give the customer it.
How that happens. Too.
And I learned that in the business side of it, you can't get attached to your work because you are always creating.
Ah, you should be attached to your work.
Like when I first started, I had like a big rift in myself about how do I charge it, you know, because I just delivered a baby and now I have to put a cost to this baby. But when you remove your feelings from the work and you see it like a business, it becomes a little easier. I wouldn't say it becomes less hard. It becomes easier to disconnect. But when I love the piece, I love it anyway.
It was just natural to you, because you created it. You remember how it was nothing, and then now it became something. That makes
Yeah, yeah. The process of creating brings a newfound kind of awareness that you didn't have before, or it's quite unexpected.
yeah. Mm. Yeah, this is a random thing I was doing. I was thinking about lion, tiger, and I was thinking about other things, and then werewolf, and then now I'm getting something very weird. What is the nose?
In
And
my From my angle, it looks like those paper drawings.
does it look like a paper drawing, or it's changed now? Somebody with expression. We'll hear about it.
He looked almost like a gorilla before you add the two side pieces.
Exactly.
And now he's looking more like a werewolf.
More like a werewolf that could be from anything. Then I want to make him buff. And how I make him buff is how it does. All my characters are all buff. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, I already had Tikkums complaining. Where are these? Why aren't there any women that are monsters? We want to see female monsters. I'm like, no, we don't do female monsters. We do them. They look pretty and they can transform. No, no, leave them transform state. Yeah,
So you prefer a monster.
not we prefer a monster. We want the women to look like what's it called? We want them to look pretty, and then they transform it like undercover surprise.
Oh, so it's not like you don't like the idea of having a female monster. You just want an element of surprise.
Yeah, I mean, at least that's what we're used to seeing. To be honest, I don't know how else to describe it. I'm used to seeing the women come out and say, "Hello."
Because for me, there's no difference. I've seen monsters in all forms.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That does make sense. Definitely does make sense. Just trying to think of
But sorry.
think about the clothes you're wearing. Better. Think about the gear, and I also want to figure out how to show his muscles without the armor,
But why do you make them jacked though?
because I want to make them. I'm drawing a whole collection of bosses.
Oh, I
That's what I'm
see.
doing. That's what I'm doing. I have a bunch of bosses, and then eventually after that, I can make a story out of them, and the story will all go into them fighting with or dealing with this boss at some uh, where down the line. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying a little bit of experiment, drawing the characters first, and then making the story. It's my little big experiment.
Oh, okay. So I guess all of these are like sub pieces to a bigger picture.
Very good. I like that. I like how you put that. Yeah, definitely, definitely sub a bigger picture. Now I can find my body be included here. Let me see. Let's make this armor a little bit more curved, circular. Uh-oh. Make it more curvy, circular to show that it's around his head. The armor which should be actually around. Okay. I might draw more. I think I'll keep him up. That doesn't look good.
I have a weird question. When a guy asks you WYD,
Why?
I know what it means, but um, I'm a I'm a cross between complete sentences and, let's say, TikTok language, right? Or digital language. So when a guy asks you WYD consecutively,
I don't know why aren't more guys using full words. To be honest,
what is that? What is that? What?
they're not using full words.
And they will ask you that question almost every day. Ah, am
When
I over? Sorry.
I was dating my ex, first thing she told me, don't ever send me a message with these acronyms. Just write the whole word. Don't. That's what she said. He has made it clear. Don't ever send me this nonsense. And showing these acronyms of GT, GTG, and all. She hates all of them. And that's when. And then I was starting to wonder what that was about. And I realized what you're exactly happening with you right now. What does this guy mean? That he's on steroids. He did not like having to figure out what I was trying to say. He's not like that riddles or any of that coach wants direct processing. Yeah. Yeah. So it makes sense that you're like saying.
Because when they start doing that, I don't hesitate to delete. Because it means that you have a limited ability to express yourself. And it means that that will transfer to everything else.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how a lot of people look at it. Well,
Or, or
that's, that's how a lot of
you're just being lazy in that moment.
people.
Or
One of the
you
ladies
are
are
ex- or you are expressing disinterest
interesting,
in a subtle way.
very subtle. But damn, okay.
I don't know that they know that we're aware that they're doing that. Cause when a guy is fully invested, he don't speak like that.
I think that some of them were trying to be cool, it just didn't work.
I was trying not to overthink because I have a way of overthinking when I like one of my rules is I do not beg for affection, right?
Okay.
I'm not gonna beg for affection. I'm not going to ask for it either.
What's the difference between asking and begging?
Yeah, yeah. Like I'll playfully ask, but I shouldn't have to ask for affection. I'm with you, therefore it's, well, at least with me, I'm with you. We made a contract. So yeah, it's a given. But it's only later on I would know that there's a difference between expecting affection and communicating that I want affection. That's a big, 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 big thing. That's two totally different things. And I wasn't good at communicating how I wanted my affection. I knew I wanted affection, but I didn't communicate how I wanted it,
Mm.
you know. And he himself also had that issue. So I give grace for a lot of stuff. I give grace for all, because there's just some stuff you will never know. You have to ask a question.
Mm.
But this WYD,
You off, huh? Piss you off. Mm.
so and then sometimes I don't want to be too hard on the guys, but I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's like I try my best to be very careful, and then it still makes no sense. So, so now I relate to the person in the way that they relate to me, or if they're very annoying, I stand on my position, because it's like all people are not going to affect you the same way. There are going to be some people who affect you more in a deeper way than some. So
Mm. It makes sense. But yeah, that's an issue a lot of people have generally. Affection and communication. Common problem.
like
I think
what applies or
I
what is effects? Sorry.
tell you something. I think there's another problem is in both what I've been listening to, seeing from both people, both genders. There's a little sometimes there's a little bit of pride of willingness to explain what they want.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. And also like what I discovered with myself is lacking the vocabulary to express what is it that I want, you know? And sometimes I'm a bit selfish and I say, you know what? I have built I've done the work to create this vocabulary, and why are they not doing it? and and I don't want less than that. But in all honesty, there is nobody else like me.
Mm-hmm. Straight like that.
So it's unfair of me to expect them to give me at the exact level that I want.
Mm.
And the only way to, I guess, bridge that gap is to effectively communicate.
Very
And
true.
then, and guess what? I thought I was like a very great communicator, only to realize that he he slowly started becoming very difficult to communicate with. So the more I tried to prove that I was communicating effectively, was the more he showed that I was not communicating.
Mhm.
And I just reached a point where it's like, you know what, whatever this is, I do not want any more of it. Cut.
Cut off.
Yeah, because I believe that at the basic level, I communicate well.
Mhm.
Unless you're an alien from some other planet, I am not gonna be jumping through hoops anymore. So I am happy to have met the ones that were open to understanding my perspective as well as not back down. Like the worst thing you could have is a yes guy, right?
Yes, man. Oh, you don't like Yes Man
I,
either?
no, I don't. Yeah, I don't like yes man either. No, you can't agree with me on everything. There must be something that we have a difference of opinion on. I don't like yes man. Like
Being on everything means that you're being dishonest.
because I would think that you're capitulating to be agreeable. Because when when I was agreeable, I sold my position, right? I didn't stand on my position.
Hmm.
So now that I am, I should say, I haven't learned everything as yet, but like I am more aware. It's like I am very intentional about what kind of person that I'm attracted to.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I love being challenged in a healthy way, of course. And even the definition of healthy is it's subjected to me to my definition. But um, I love expanding what I know.
Hmm.
So that's why I don't like a yes guy, and I don't like a guy who says no all the time either.
Makes sense. Kind of. It makes sense. Yeah, I think Yes Guys also be boring, to be honest.
um. Uh,
So I've heard they're boring because you don't really you feel like you're talking to your reflection in the mirror.
and do you know that the narcissist is a type of yes guy at the beginning? They mirror you. they,
Oh,
you
they
feel.
try to trap you.
And now that I know better, it's like I'm bored with anybody who tries to reflect. But it takes a lot of courage to be aware of it and work on it
Narcissist
because
to start off with Yes Guy, that's pretty interesting. There's a lot of cases you've seen that.
sorry,
You've seen a lot of cases that prove that to be true. That's pretty interesting.
you mean the whole
Yes Guy turning into a narcissist.
nice guys turn into narcissists?
No, Yes Guys.
Oh, oh, nope, nope. Nope. No, there's a spectrum of behavior and traits that qualify as a narcissist. It's it's I haven't looked into all, but I have researched them from the point of view of my experience, right? Um, they become the yes guy at the beginning because they think that by being agreeable and by mirroring your behavior and thought patterns, they can rope you in, right?
Right.
So if you're not aware, he or she, because it's not only men, and if you're not aware, you could easily think that, oh my gosh, they're into what I'm into, versus being agreeable. They're not being agreeable. They are simply baiting you to rope you in. That's all. So with narcissists, it's a intentional act of being a yes guy or a yes woman. Very, very different. But for a guy like I was once very agreeable, like agreeable to a fault because I was what conflict avoidant. I was very paranoid about dealing with disagreements and conflict. Even if it was mild and non-threatening, I would choose to be agreeable. And no, no,
No better.
I poke the lion every now and then, and sometimes I wouldn'tly I wouldn'tly kick Goliath's toe.
Mm, okay.
But years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Okay. All right. Let me see it. Quickly. Make it into a sharp diamond. Okay.
I used to think that narcissists were created by parents who neglected their kids, right?
Ah,
But I think the system that we live by creates all kinds of mental disorders.
so you changed, huh? It's not the parents' fault.
Yeah, it's like and because it affects both genders, right? Um, it's unfair to pin it down on one specific thing.
Fair assessment.
Yeah, but in my early days of assessing, oh my gosh, I was so biased. I was so biased.
Mother was not mothering properly.
Yeah, his mother is the problem.
Is that because you
But
changed your mind because you became a mother?
who me?
That what made you change your mind? You became a mother?
Yeah, because when I became a mom, my daughter is the center of my world. Therefore, she would think that highly of herself, and I think it's healthy and important for every child to think highly of themselves. But when you're born into a quote unquote minority group where disparities of wealth and misinformation about self and how we actualize our dreams,
Mm-hmm.
that could become very messy. That's why I fought so hard to change my mindset and to move.
Mm.
And now that I'm back here, guess what? The very thing that I was fighting is what happened.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So so I am fighting even harder
Did your
to relocate.
daughter start dating narcissists or what happened?
No, she's surrounded by family who are narcissists.
Wow. Even worse.
And
No way out.
yes, it feels like that. It my goodness, TikTok is like my reminder that my dreams matter and our life matters, and not to give up, because I could tell you when I first created this account, I wanted to take a permanent exit. You know, I not because I was fearful, but because I felt like if I cannot self actualize, what's the point of living?
Mm.
because I have faced my fears head on, right?
Right.
I have dissected and reassessed how I should do things.
Mhm.
But I am in an environment that is not helping me to become my best self. So what's the point of
Environment.
living?
Mhm.
Because my form, sorry?
If you can't, if you're not becoming your best self, what's your point of being that being to be in that environment? Then?
Yeah, and my former self was like, family was everything, and the world was my enemy, and my family is everything. But you know what happened? The world became my best friend, and my family became my first enemy.
That's very opposite of what most people are taught.
And that is part of the misinformation in boomer led families. And the reason why the information is skewed is because it is set intentionally so that the younger ones don't become a threat. If the younger ones don't self actualize, the matriarch or the patriarch has total control. Because nothing kills a boomer's ego like another young man who's doing better than he is or she is.
Mm.
And because they know the system, they would stop at nothing to undermine the efforts. So I am very particular. Now, like before, I used to be so open and because I love my family. Now they know nothing about me.
Mm.
She's so quiet. She's so secretive. She doesn't share her information.
Mm.
I had to become quiet. I had to, by force, because they were undermining everything that I was doing. And like my daughter told me, she said, Mom, if they really wanted to help us have a better life, they would have done it already. Because they are very enthusiastic to help us suffer, but they're not enthusiastic to help us be happy.
No, but what's it called? Families are more controlling. To be honest with you, they have their own agenda.
They are worse than the government. Because you know what? You know how it's like with the government, you could identify what the system is.
Yeah,
You can identify what the system is, and you can pinpoint where there's a weakness.
yeah.
But with a family system, especially when you have been groomed and brainwashed to believe that family is it, it's very hard to tell where the arrows are coming from.
And then
So,
you don't want to disconnect because that'd be bad too.
oh yeah, I look forward to it. I am enthusiastic about that actually.
Disconnection.
And you know what? When I first discovered that I had to disconnect, I became sick because that's how much I love them. And love doesn't, and this is how you know misinformation again. The act of loving does not absolve you from the tyranny that they intentionally place on you. The depth of your love for them does not protect you from the abuse that they are willing to subject you to.
That's kind of weird when you hear that.
So that's why I have no issue with being heartless now. Because love does not conquer anything. Love does not protect you. I think being rational and pragmatic and practical protects you more than love can. Because having the ability to defend yourself from, let's say, a dog attacking you has nothing to do with love.
Absolutely
It's
not.
simply a skill issue. It's simply a skill issue. That's it.
Only skill
Oh,
issue.
love. All that bullshit about love.
Mm. Mm. Totally makes sense. But but I think but I think you're not as the fact that you discovered this now. You're a bit ahead of a lot of other people. A lot of other people take them years to figure all that out. And most of the time, it's too late. What's the point of doing anything anymore?
I was very cognizant of the possibility of that happening because I remembered when I first decided to love, like be willing to love somebody again, was that here what, right? If I'm not careful, I'm a young woman. I'm a young woman, right? If I'm not careful, I'm going to become like these old bitter women. So find out what works for me and exercise that. And and I loved and I got hurt. And I loved and I got hurt. And then I was like, stop, 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 stop. I have standards, right? I have standards. Let me start holding myself accountable to my standards first. So so that's what I'm doing right now. I have like I have nothing against people who want to love and want to be in a relationship, and because let's be real, right? It's a very uplifting experience when you love someone or you care about someone and that care is returned to you. It's very uplifting. But I'm no longer delusional about love. It's either you care or you don't.
But how do you know if they care? That's the question. How do you know?
Um, it matches with the level of how I care for myself. And this is not like a one size fits all. This is me and how I navigate. Because what I used to do was I used to love so much that I would hold myself accountable for my actions and the other person's actions, and I would literally take the fall for them, and I would literally go above and beyond to accommodate them. So you have a situation where I'm overextending myself to my detriment. So I have stopped doing that. Now it's like I am on my pedestal, right? I am in my throne room. I am not sending out any messengers to get you. You will come to my castle yourself. Yeah, I am not going to be overextending myself anymore. Um, if they could meet me at the drawbridge, no problem. So, and then, like I said, I have things that I'm working on. So it's not like necessary for me to be in a relationship at this point. I'm still working on a lot of stuff because I think the ideal situation is when um, I have enough clarity to navigate. Because the worst thing you could do is be in another relationship and you haven't cleared up what you were dealing with.
Mm.
It's unfair to the other person who has done the work, or it's unfair to the other person because I will just be bleeding on them. So,
Mm. Oh, okay. Mm. Okay, so the other thing.
sorry?
No, I'm just trying to figure out where the hand is. So I'm trying to hold that here properly. Mhm. Yeah, that's the hand. Okay, let me just. Yeah, I'm thinking about my drawing. Sorry, I'm almost done. Yep, and I'm done. That's what it is. And yeah, it's 3 minutes, and that's how we get a character done. That's it. That's one character, and the five that I got done later today. They're gonna see less than 3 hours. Mhm. Awesome.
So, since I entered the room, you did two characters.
No, that character I did yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah, I did yesterday. I didn't do it today. I do one a day. I don't have time to do two because I'm working on another side animation. I do it usually when I'm offline. So yeah, this is the character I've done for today. Now what I gotta do is coding. That's it. Out the side. The size too big. And then bring down this. This is the canvas size. This way right now. That works in the canvas. Canvas size is this. I think it's a good size. Fits. And I'm making it smaller. It's a bit smaller. So like go down and this is the size of the image. So oh, let me just put it into it. So see, it's a bit bigger than the line. You see that line? Big square of the line. Bigger. If it's off the line, first I'm going to do, I need to merge all my layers. Merge all the layers and I print them to put in the canvas side. So now you look at this, this is all layers. How many layers I got over here? See them? See how many lines they have? 15 pieces. There's so many lines, right? See how many pieces it
yeah.
is? Yeah. Now I have to put them all together, make them one piece. Then I can move around and I can play around with it. Yeah.
Oh, you could do that.
That's a good thing. You can draw big and then you can shrink it later. You shrink it more, thinking, thinking in proportion. A bit of a weird position pose, but I like that. I don't spend too much time on the legs. I care about it. Not like if I gym, not leg day. And then from there, I'll just do a few things. One thing I like to do is my drawing. I like to layer shading. So I just add an extra layer. And make it purple. Purple is nice. So this is green or red. The light blue, but you have light blue here, so I do purple. So from there, I'll layer around them. And then I'll go to the actual, well, I'll usually layer around them. And I'll start working with make this thing decent. Alright, yep. Get to the arms, and the arm, there's no detail in the muscle. I can put some of the sleeves. I draw more people with skills. I like skills. I like the hand. Most of them maybe look funny, but really, you know, my so this is like a sketching kind of phase, and that's thing with that detail. That's the details. Also, by the way, less details they are always easier to animate. Okay, get more clear right now. Less details they have, And second, so what I've seen the comments, I don't know. Yeah, then from there, you can highlight it. And then you get the layer, use that. So that's the layer. Then go and I can make it so a bit darker. You can do organize it to darker, lighter, and you can have it setting it. Give me a purple as well. That helps to show definition. Yeah. And just give me, yeah. And I go also after that I have to do a background color. I don't know if it's green, not. I make it shading color background. So you see that as well. So from there, so keep it so this way you try to flip it. You see, purple is good. Good purple. Huh? So what I do, I don't like the plain purple as well. So here, and that's purple. I'll see the gradient and I'll play other colors. And add different colors. Purple, light green, yellow, green, color like so. Go color. I go random play around and try to get what I like. I like orange and fix the orange. Nice, nice orange, and the yellow. So I can do, and voila, I got my character. That's what I usually do. I just play around. And that's it with the character. You can see there. The character there. The funniest thing, if I didn't like, let's say I didn't like the character in light blue, I just or one day, let me find the color. I just duplicate the character with the guy. Go in here, another place, and I can go on the floor around with colors. I don't like the blue. Maybe I can make some in pink, maybe blue, start with it, put it down, put it down, and it's the first color difference. So, so pink, and there, all pink as well. And we go further and further. I have to go also around the other shoulders. So other things, I could even make the skin darker. I could make the eyes a different color. Let me see, eyes, sometimes the eye yellow instead of orange. And then, again, I'm going to make this to green, green. Armor, crafting style, pink and green. Then also down green there. Then I have to go back and find, make it all green. Change it to it now. Right, change the clothes, green, like an indicator. And I try to make his arm not like a glove, like a full arm. Okay.
So I am going to
Down.
start my day.
Okay. Thank you for the conversation.
Oh, thank you.
You didn't sleep at all, did you?
Sorry?
You didn't sleep at all. You're gonna be a zombie.
No, I promise to come by more often.
No, come by when you didn't sleep. That's what we say. Yeah, those sleepy days. If we're online, join us.
Sure, sure. So,
Like the green guy better than the yellow. It doesn't matter. Blue side better. What are you, green or blue? Like the blue guy here. Maybe I put inside the side. Like people. Blue and gold. Green or blue? Green guy. Green or blue? Is it hard? Is it hard decision? Green. What do you think? Green or blue? Oh,
are they twins?
no, they're not. They are twins because it's the same guy. I decided to just duplicate it to play with colors. There's the original one, and then there's another one I just made as a green one. I think
I'm
blue.
just amazed at the speed that you're doing it at.
No, it's fun. No, I do it a lot. I've been doing this every day. When you do it every day, it becomes faster, obviously. I learned that a long time ago. That you YouTube draw every day, and that's what I've been doing.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I think any skill, once you like repeat it, you become better at it.
Okay, well, that's what it is. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun.
Well, thank you very much, and I wish you a amazing day with great surprises. It's good to have good surprises.
All right. Catch you later then.
Yeah. So take care and thank you.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, all right. You're welcome. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. Mm-mm-mm. Whew. That's what goes on now. That's the question. Okay, let me get to this next